G'day, this is Blxz and welcome back to Anno 2205. So I've had a think about what I'm going to do, and I've decided that I'm going to temporarily abandon the moon. It's costing me something like 9,000 per factory, and it's 7,500 just for a little single house. So there's no way I'd be able to produce even a sustainable little village there, let alone, well, anything. So I'm really going to have to build up down here on Earth before I can support myself up on the moon. And the main thing is, this here is actually, the Arctic is struggling a little bit. I left it without power, and a whole bunch of things are sort of slowly catching up on me now. So the first step will be to fix my power situation. Now it involves another geothermal plant up here. And I believe these can make up to about 900 when they're fully powered up. So that's enough there. If I upgrade them further, yeah, they make up to about 900 total. So I now have enough energy to continue my expansion here. I guess the real issue is I'm actually running out of what's this stuff called? A community centre. So I'm going to see if I can squeeze another one of these in somewhere. I reckon that is the place to go.
You thought you just dropped by?
Yes, I did think I'd drop by. You can go down there, and I'll start a little village down there further in a minute. Right now I'll throw this in here. And we have our need for community met. So the next step is pretty much going to be to expand down here. I reckon... yeah, it's pretty tight down here a lot. But
it's cold out there, isn't it? Come in.
Shut up. But there's no real difficulty here. I'll just squeeze them in wherever they can. It's probably not going to look very beautiful, but that really is the least of my concerns at the moment. Main thing is getting this area stable, getting it producing me money, and go, and getting everything sorted. So
I don't think that there are any major problems right now.
So I've got more than enough resources down here. Except for stimulants. So how do I make stimulants again? Oh, it's a higher level thing. So I've got more than enough food for a little bit. I have enough of these neural implants, and I've got enough resources. So I'm going to slam out a bunch of houses, and my next factory will have to be these stimulant things. So I require deep water corals. And you actually don't produce very many of them, and I need a lot of them. So if I throw this here, that'll give me enough heat. Along with the factory to build up this village properly.
Corporation value has risen.
Excellent. So with that, I now have 6, so I can build 3 of these. That's still not enough, but it's a good start. So I'll throw that there. Using 4. Okay.
New blueprints ready for implementation.
Okay. So I've got enough heat. I'll build this up just behind it to be able to create a little chain of heat. That's probably what I should have done to begin with, but for the time being, I've got what I've got. Perfect. So throw a couple of these in.
Welcome. You want to come in?
Not yet. Okay, so whenever I move buildings, that really hurts my frame rate for some reason. I think I'll have to keep that in mind and do any moving off camera if I can avoid it. There you go. Get ourselves a good little base down here. Now hopefully as
nice
well,
to meet you in person.
people will provide me with enough money to pay off the community centre, because they're bloody expensive. They're 1,000 credits to maintain. Yeah, let's throw that there. Beautiful, covered. So I'm going to keep on working on upgrading up here. I reckon this will be my main area. There's people down the bottom, they can just be my little feeder houses.
Construction of new building types possible.
Methane extractor and a gas power station. That'll solve my future energy needs. Get rid of these things that are wasting a spot. Although what do they end up using? They require a coastal building site. So I'm trading here coast for mining site. I guess it really depends what I'm going to need. Which is fish for the time being. It just seems like a never-ending battle. You really just... This game's all about balancing and going on. It seems almost worse than the previous Anno games. But that's alright. I now have a lot of fish. And if I can find my factory, I can upgrade it. So I suppose what I should really be doing here is, like what I did down here, make a line of things for efficiency's sake. So if I just...
Most decision.
Yeah, shut up. If I get all this stuff moved out of the way... I wonder if I can... Let's go there for the time being. I wonder if I can... reorganise this in a better way.
It's cerebral, but it's work nonetheless.
I don't want to talk to you. Okay. Yeah, something about the Arctic just really hits my frame rate worse than anywhere else. Forgot what I was doing for a second. Yeah, it'll provide a big long chain of heat, while at the same time being a more efficient use of various resources.
Welcome. You want to come in?
So using all my fish, I'm producing a shit ton of food, and if I set all my factories up like this in these long linear chains, it should actually give me a much better, more efficient building opportunity in the middle. So I will go and do all that sometime off camera in the future. Unless anyone particularly wants to watch me to see how I do my upgrading. That comes down to resources again. So yeah, if anyone's keen on actually seeing me upgrade, by all means leave a comment, let me know how you'd prefer these videos to unfold. I'm more than capable of changing my recording style around a little bit.
If you're here, who's out dealing with the problem?
Yeah. I'm more than happy to change my video style recording around, and just drop me a comment and let me know how it's going. But in the meantime, I think we're going to head back to the temperate zone and keep building up down there now that I've fixed up north. Yeah, luxury food is not relevant right now. I'm going to use it on my more important people. I want to really get a huge city built up here. If I can get, say, 10, 15,000 per minute in revenue, that would be an absolute bloody hoot. And save up in the meantime should give me a much better chance of actually setting up my moon base in a reasonable period of time. I'm actually going to do quite a bit of forward recording, so if you do end up commenting, I will probably be able to read on them, but I'm not going to be able to act on them. I will be heading off for my honeymoon overseas in another couple of days. Probably already be over there by the time this video actually comes out. So my aim is to probably record up to 2 weeks in advance, and that's a good couple hours of recording. Just so that I've actually got a backlog to keep you guys well fed while I'm away. So I'm thinking of setting up my new city right in this middle chunk here. I'm obviously going to need more resources and feeding. I'm going to need water and food, so that'll have to come on at some point. But I've got more than enough actual building materials coming in to set up a nice big chain. And I'm going to use those really big houses. I actually want to make this like a bit of a downtown area. So let's start right next to this beautiful factory. Let's make a big long main street, just because I actually quite like the look of that. Beautiful. And throw another one in right here. And that'll really let us get a massive population centre set up. Paying me tax, doing my work. There we go, beautiful. Ooh, wow. Oh, this is going to be awesome. I love having big cities. That's the thing that really gets me in the Anno games. Is these all, you know, all the chains and stuff are really fun and enjoyable. Oh, I made a mistake there. Having these big building chains all really fun and enjoyable, but it's when it all comes together, when you've built everything up, when you've done all the logistics, you've brought it all together, and then you can just sit back and have a huge city set up. God, I love that. That's what does it for me in Anno games. Some people probably like the micromanaging, but for me, it's always been about these big, beautiful babies. But you're going to move.
Seems like work is fun.
So I will need this at some point.
Updating list of achievements.
You're actually I want to leave a good little park zone in here for when I start to beautify out my city. There we go. That's going to be good. First step will be to get the... Where are they? Infodrome set up. Now I don't know actually how many of these will cover. Probably not that far. Put another one up here. And... damn, this is the wrong size.
New level of success reached.
You know, they actually are covering the entire side, the far side. I didn't think they'd get that far. But that's really good. That'll save me from having to fiddle around too much. if I get these babies upgraded, if I can even afford that many resources. Nope, I can do that many. Oh yeah, there we go. So food and water are already smashing down really quickly. There's a huge population just developed, and I'm going to really need to get them all fed and watered. I can actually upgrade some of my water ones, well there's no way that'll be enough. It will help take the load off a bit. Actually was enough, wow. These things really produce heaps. Big one now is organic food. I got a huge stockpile, but I am burning through that very quickly. So I reckon I'm going to set it up down here. So these rice farms are slightly bigger. What I'll do is I'll just build it out in the middle of nowhere and I will slide it into position once I'm ready. That's probably a better idea. Go lengthways.
Updating list of achievements.
There we go. Nope, it's not going to work quite there. There you go, that'll work. Beautiful. And get it all lined up. Now what's that going to do for my food production? That will give me more than enough to keep going for a long time. Next step will be getting the, what's that called, vitamin drinks sorted. So I'm going to need a lot of fruit and then get my factories organised. So once again I'll put this out in Whoop and I'll get this rebuilt before I move it in. Okay, that worked. Actually, I'm going to rotate that just for make it more aesthetically pleasing. I'll go one more fruit. I always like to go big or go home. It's a lot more enjoyable that way. Save me the effort. Oh, come on, one square out. Yeah, I've always been a fan of overproducing. I know some people are really finicky. They like to turn off their things and keep their profit margins tight. But I just love to build. that there and leave a gap. And that way I can have a good line of the rice farms going up as we expand. Try and get a bit of continuity. And it's all good. Okay, we now have more than enough production. So next step will be juice factories. Perfect fit. The question is, how much is that actually using? Some, but I've got a lot more available. So I'll throw another one right to right here. There we go. Ah, it doesn't matter. Fruit doesn't get used for anything else. So, I've got myself a very good healthy stockpile. I'm going to need more water shortly, but that's something I can work on in due course. There we go. Now this is skyrocketed. My money's just going right up now. As these people move in. Yeah. As these people move in, they'll just give me more and more money. That'll really allow me to properly get a base set up on the moon. But for the time being, I'm actually going to call this episode, and I will see you next time as we keep building up our temperate base in preparation for being able to afford the moon. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you next time.